indeed. The man were a port of Helmgate, he should have all turning the key. Knock, knock, knock!
Who's there in the name of Beelzebub?
He's a farmer, hanging himself in the expectations of plenty. Come in, time, have napkins enough. Here, you sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there? The other girl's name? It says an equivocator, who can swear in both scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake you could not equivocate to heaven. Come on in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Hey, here's an English tailor. Come out hither for stealing out of French hose. Come on in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never look quiet. What are you? This place is too cold for hell. I'll never porter no further. I thought to let in all the professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon. I pray you remember the porter. There, you bastard. Come on, here we come.
Why is it so late, friend? Ere you went to bed, did you do lie so late?
Fate, sir! We were carousing to the second cock. And drink, sir! It's a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Now, sir, don't play, sleep, and urine. Luxury, sir. It provokes, it unprovokes. Provokes a desire, takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be an equivocator with the luster see. You see, makes them, lost them, sets them on, takes them off, persuades them, disheartens them, makes them stand to, and not to stand to. In conclusion, it equivocates them in sleep, and giving to the lie, it leaves them.
Believe Drake gave you the lie last night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did, sir. Brought the very throat on me. But I requited him for his lie, and I think being too strong for him, even though he took up the knife sometimes, I made a shift at casting.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir. Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy thing?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. Almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to it.
I know this is a trouble when you, but yet 'tis one.
Labor we delight, did expect. Here's the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Knows the king hence today? He did appoint so. The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, new hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake. It was a rough night. My own remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What is the matter, lad?
Confucius made his masterpiece. The most sacrilegious murderer broke open the Lord's anointed temple and stole the life of the building.
What is to say, your life? His Majesty!
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak, see and speak yourselves! Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Bigwood Donalby! Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look upon death itself! Up! Up! See the great Duke's image! Malcolm! Bigwood Donalby! As from your graves rise up and walk like spikes to countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak! Speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. Repetition of a woman's ear was murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo! A royal master's murder.
Oh, what last? What, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere.
Dear Duff, I prithee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I died an hour before this time, I'd lived a perfect life. There is nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. The line of life is drawn and left the mere leaves in this vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are. You do not know it. Spring, ahead, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
By whom? Those of his chambers, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces all badged with blood, and so were their daggers which in white we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, tempered, loyal, neutral, furious, all in a moment, no man? The expedition of my violent love outrun the pause of reason. There lay donkey, silver skin laced with golden blood, and his gashes seemed like a breach in nature for its waste. There lay the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refuse that had a heart to love, and in that heart, courage to make love known?
Help me, help!
It's Milady!
Why do we hold our tongues that they most claim this argument for ours?
What should be spoken here? Were our fate hidden in auger home and rush and seize us? That's away. Our tears are not yet through.
Nor a strong sorrow upon the foot of motion. Look to the lady. When we have our naked frailties hid that suffer an exposure, let us meet and question this bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the firm hand of God I stand, and thence, against the undivulged pretense, I fight a treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So all, let us briefly put our manly readiness together and meet in the hall.
Well contended.
What will you do? Let us not consort with them to show unfelt sorrows in office which the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there are daggers in men's smiles. The nearer blood, and the nearer bloody.
This murder of shaft that has shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horses, and let us not be dainty of our leave-taking, but shift away. There is warrant in this theft that steals himself away when there is no mercy left.
Here comes the good. How goes the roll, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
It's known who did this more than bloody deed.
Those that Macbeth have slain.
Alas, the day. What good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donald, being the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, frivolous ambition that will bring up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He's already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, sacred storehouse of his predecessors, and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, I'll to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all as the weird women promised. and I fear thou playest most foully for it. Yet it was said that it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why then, by their verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracle as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our feast, and all being unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll require your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie, forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
I'm a good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice, which has been both brave and prosperous in this day's hour, but, well, tomorrow. As far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will take up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better, I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But on that tomorrow, when therewithal we will have cause of state craving us jointly. I you to your horse, adieu, until you return at night. Ghost flames with you?
I'm a lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horse is swift and sure of foot, so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till said at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, ourselves will keep till supper time alone. Till then, God be with you. Sarah, a word with you. Attend those men our letter.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears of Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares. To that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There's none but he whose being I do fear. And under him, my genius is rebuked, as it is said, Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He cheated the sisters, and first they placed the name of king upon me, and bid them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, put a barren scepter in my grip, and thence to be rent with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered. Put rancors in the vessels of my peace, only for them, and mine eternal jewel. Give in to the common enemy of man, to make them kings. The seed of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Now, go to the door and stay until we come. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please, your highness.
Now, have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he who in past times kept you so under fortune, which you had thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you. Passed in probation, how you were born in hand, how across the instruments I wrought with them, and a half a soul and notion cray, saying thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so, which is now our point of second view. You find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel as to pray for this good man for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue ye go from men, as hounds, greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, sloughs, water rugs, demi-wolves are all clept by the name of dogs. Now, if you have a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I'll put this business in your bosom, whose execution takes your enemies off, grapples you to the heart and love of us, who wear our health but sickly in this life, which in his death were perfect.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed, that I am reckless what I do despite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or get rid of it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
And so is he mine. That with every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could, with bare-faced power, sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends who are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fault, who I myself struck down. Thence it is to your assistance I do make love, masking this business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform as you command us.
Through our
Your
lives.
spirit shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourself, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, for it must be done tonight. And something from the palace. Always thought I required clearness. And with him to leave no rubs nor blotches in the work. Flynn's, his son who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart, call upon your knowledge.
We are resolved.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide with it. It is concluded. Banquo thy soul's flight, if you find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught's had. All is spent. Where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy, than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. Come now, my lord. Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts you think on, which should have indeed died with them. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of former tooth. Let the frame of things destroy. Both the worlds suffer, and we will eat our meals in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done its worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can shake him further.
Come on. Gentle my lord, be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
I shall. So I pray be you. Zen Banquo emanates both with eye and tongue. Unsafe the while, we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, making our faces visitors to our hearts.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his fleets live.
But in them nature's copies not eternal.
There is comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou joking. Ere the that, flown his closer flight to black Hecate summons. Shard-born beetles, his drowsy hums of the long night's dawning peal, there will be done a deed, dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Innocent of knowledge, dearest Chuck, but I will applaud the deed. Come, stealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Now marvelest thou my words. Behold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
Whoa! But who did bid thee to join with us?
Macbeth. He needs none of his trust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the lady traveler pace to gain the time of the inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses.
Give us a light there, ho!
Then 'tis he. The rest are within the door of expectation, already in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile, but he does usually, so all men do. From hence to the palace gates, make it their walk. A light! A light!
'Tis he! Stand to it!
There will be rain tonight.
Let it come down!
Slave.
Who did strike on the light?
Was that not the way?
There's but one down. The sun is fled. We've lost the best half of our affair.
Well, that's the way, and say how much is done.
Your own degree, sit down. At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks, Your Majesty.
Ourselves will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all of our friends, for my heart speaks. They are welcome.
See, they encountered you with their heart's eggs. Come, be large and mirth, I'll sit in the midst. Anon, we'll drink and measure. The table round. There's blood on thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
Better he without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut! That... Why did for him?
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for fleeing. If thou didst, thou art the non-parrier.
Most royal sir, Fleets has escaped.
Here comes my fit again. I had else been perfect. Whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. Now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound to saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo safe.
Hi, my lord, safe in the ditches he abides, with 20 drenched gashes ashes on his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. Here the grown serpent lies. Worm that's fled hath nature, which in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone. We'll hear ourselves again tomorrow.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold that is often vouched, while 'tis given with welcome. To feed were best at home, from thence sauce to meat is ceremony. Meetings were bare without it.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now good digestion wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness sit.
Here we have our country's honor roofed, with a grace person of Bengal present, whom I may rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please your highness to grace us with your royal company.
Table's full.
Here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my lord. What's that news, your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What was it, lord?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake that gory locks, envy!
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. I pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary, and upon a thought he will once again be well. If much you know him, you shall offend him, and extend his passion. Feed, and regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye. And a bold one that dare look upon that which might appall the devil.
Stop. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger you set like you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts are impostors to true fear. Would well become a woman's tale, told at a winter's fire, authorized by her granddad. Why do you make such faces? When all's said and done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there, behold! Look, lo, what say you? What care I? Thou canst not speak to! Charnel houses and the graves must send those that we bury back. Our monument shall be the mall of kites.
Quite a man in folly.
As I stand here, I saw him.
Why, for shame.
Blood hath been shed. Now in the olden time, humane statutes have purged the gentle real eye too, since murders have been performed too terrible for the ear. There had been a time when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. Now they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their ground and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
You forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing that to those that know me. Come, be large in birth, then I'll sit down. Wine. Fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our friend Banquo, whom we miss were he here. To him and all we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avance! And quit my sight! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. There's no speculation with those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this good clears but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare? I dare. Post thou like a rugged Russian bear, like the armed rhinoceros, like the hierarchy tiger. Take any shape with that, and my firm nerve shall never tremble. Or be alive again, and dare me to the desert with thy sword. Trembling I inhabit thee, then protest me. Baby of a girl! Hence, horrible shadow. Unreal mockery, hence! So, being gone, I am man again. I pray you, sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broken the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things be that overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange, even to the disposition which I owe, when I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine are blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
Oh, speak not, I pray you. He grows worse and worse. Questions enrage him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night. Your better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
We will have blood. Say blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Otters and understood relations have by magpies, chops, and brooks brought forth the secretest man of blood. What is a night?
Almost at odds with the morning. Which is which?
How say you that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it, by the way. But I will send. There's not one of them, but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More have they to speak. For now I am bent to know by the worst means. The worst. For mine own good all causes shall give way. I am in blood stepped in so far that should I wait no more to return were as tedious as to go o'er. Strange things have I in head, that will to hands, which must be acted, ere they may be scant.
You lack the season of all nature's sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strength and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are but young indeed.
My former speeches have but hid your thoughts, which can interpret farther. Only I say things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Married he was dead, and the right valiant Banquo walked too late. Whom you may say Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. Men must not walk too late. Who could not want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and Donald Bain to kill their gracious father? Damn fact, how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight in pious rage to two delinquents, tear that were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was that not nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, for 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny him. So that I say he has borne all things well, and I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key, as in it please heaven he shall not, the men would find what were to kill a father. And so should Fleance. But peace, from the broad words, and because he felt his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Can you tell me where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court and is received by the most pious Edward with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. Oh, thither Macduff is gone to pray the holy king upon his aid, to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward, that by the help of these, with him above to ratify the work, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets, bloody knives, do faithful homage, and receive free honors, all of which we pine for now. And this report hath so exasperated the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Send he to Macduff.
He did, and with an absolute, sir, not I, the cloudy messenger turns me his back and hums, as you should say, you'll rue the time that plods me with this answer.
And that may very well advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. some holy angel, fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a swift blessing may soon return to this our suffering country under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.